I'm an American standing in Moscow, Russia. And the Russian military vehicles are rolling down the street. Woo! They have just left Red Square. So Stan and I may have gotten lucky. This is Goom Mall, and before our eyes appears to be open barriers into Red Square. It is Victory Day, May 9th in Moscow, Russia. And who is this guy? Welcome to Expat American. I am the Expat American. Find out what's going on in Moscow, in Russia, right now. Wow. Woo! Nice May 9th display. What is Victory Day?
The most important holiday for us, that's what I would say.
Did they bring the tank down here?
No, I don't
know.
think.
I'm not a technical person.
That was not it.
What is that I see rolling down the street?
It's a little bit inconvenient, perhaps, for other countries to be remembering this right about now.
Oh, look, it's a hammer and sickle.
You didn't expect a hammer and sickle next to Karl Marx?
Look at that, guys. Do you see it? That is snow on a slide in Moscow, Russia, in May 9th to be exact, Victory Day today. We had a blizzard of a snow last night with some snow throughout the day, and now it is white everywhere that I can see so far. I'm in my neighborhood. It is a little after 8 a.m. I'm running late because I had trouble finding my passport. I have it now, and I'm going to just head on in to the center to see what I can see of the Victory Day parade today. There's orange and black balloons on that little market. And orange and black are the colors of the flag that they use for Victory Day. Okay, so I'm off the metro in the center at Revolution Square, I think is the way you would translate it. And they have statues here. They're pretty cool. So it's Revolution Square. So these are wonderful Soviet citizens. And it looks like people are here. And it's closed. So I wonder when it's going to open, because they look like they're waiting for the gates to be opened on this side. And I see some people in costume, well, in military dress. And you can see how beautiful it is, just the statues everywhere. Yeah, it's closed on both sides. Get through unless you have a ticket at this entrance. So I'm going to go to another station. They have underground tunnels connecting different stations. And so get a little bit further out of the center and try to walk in. Here is the next station. I took the tunnels to get to it, and they have gates up there. This is closed as well. So I'm going to get on the metro to get out of the center one station. I'm at the next station, and I want to try and exit if I can. So no gate gate barriers here. So far so good. I'm at least getting further to the surface of the planet. I got above ground. I can see snow on stuff still here, even in the center, on this construction equipment. And looks like this is where I was in the recent video with Josiah and Natalia, where we walked to the end of where the military vehicles were parked. So you see the Victory Day flags. I am able to look at some pretty flags at least. The snow is still falling. You see it on my jacket. I'm walking around these barriers wherever I can to try and get closer. So they've blocked off this area as well. So the vehicles are parked right around the corner where I was last night, but they're not letting people through. So I guess the crowds don't get out of hand. There is another poster, like I say, that you see all over the city and I guess the country this time of year. There's another one there at a pharmacy. Maybe this will be a bust. Maybe I shouldn't have done this today. Maybe I won't see anything. Here's a street I found 1 block down. It's got some pretty lights over it at least. It's not nighttime though, so they're not on. Yeah, if I had known that you could just buy a ticket, I would buy a ticket. If you can. I don't know, maybe you have to be special to have those tickets to get in. But I'm 49. I don't need to be running around in the May snow early in the morning. I didn't even know there was such a thing as May snow. There's a police car covered in snow. There you have a May 9th ribbon on that building. Well, at least I get to see more beautiful European streets that I don't know if I've seen before. And there's police everywhere, like usual, but even more so now, which I think is great, because obviously they need to be prepared that no one tries to mess with this event. And there's a undercover police car right now with his light on. Something coming, and it's a garbage truck. There's another May 9th advertisement. But I'm approaching the Red Square area, I think it's fair to say, the center. So behind that building is the Red Castle, which leads you into Red Square, and you can see they've got the barriers, so it looks like they're blocking you back enough that you can't see, because if you could see, then they'd have this big crowd growing. And it looks like I can walk in a little bit here, but I think that's just because the metro entrance is right here. Even their maintenance vehicles have May 9th written on the side, like on all of them, which is really cool. There's a military vehicle there and some buses. I can see some sort of military transport bed there. So that's the best view I had so far. I will try to go back a little ways and see if maybe I can get in on a different side street. There's another May 9th advertisement on the side of this theater awning. So that's what this video is, guys. I'm gonna title it May 9th Victory Day Posters in Moscow City. Does that sound viral to you? I do like this classic Soviet style food stand. So, Russia has coffee, and I got my coffee, and I've got about 10 minutes left to get back to the Pushkin statue and hopefully see the jet planes flying overhead, because apparently that's another thing people try to see. And I heard that that was a good spot because it's kind of open because you're at the top of a hill, I guess. look who I found. Igor is in Moscow, televising right now. And also, look at this guy. He's kind of hiding behind his hat and glasses. Do you know who he is? Joe, the Catholic, Igor, the Soviet man, and I, the expat American.
Igor the Orthodox.
Igor wants to be an Orthodox in this video. All right, we are going to run to another spot because Igor thinks he has a secret spot where we can maybe see something. Look at the snow. It's like pelting us in the face. It's really coming down. That is so funny. Wow.
It's your fault.
The Florida man has brought snow.
I've been trying to find gloves for 3 days in St. Petersburg and third day in Moscow. I cannot find any gloves.
Oh yeah?
It's the sanctions.
Oh, it's sanctions. Or the fact that maybe they weren't expecting it to be winter right now, a month away from summer. So Joe and I are following Igor. We're trusting him because he's a Slavic guy and we're not. And he's brought us into a metro. Check it out. So I'm seeing another metro for Victory Day. So Igor just gave myself and Joe the ribbon, the colored flag that they wear for Victory Day. Igor is interviewing Joe on the escalator. This metro exit is very cool. The columns and everything.
First circle line. First circle line.
Is this set up for photos maybe?
Maybe. Yesterday was the most horrific weather, but in between times we saw beautiful sun, and it was kind of warm.
I don't think it's horrific. I like it. I'm from Florida. Snow is cool.
In all fairness, it is cooler when you have gloves. Just saying.
And technically you're correct. It is cool. It's almost even colder.
So it looks like we have a spot where if the vehicles exit here, we'll definitely see them. So it's not like the beginning where it's blocked off and you can't even see. So again, here's another city vehicle and it has May 9th on the door. That's how much pride they take in this holiday, that they're marking everything.
Victory Day is probably the most important civilian celebration in Russia. It's a holiday. It's basically, you could compare it with Independence Day in some sorts, but a little bit different because
American Independence Day, you mean?
Yeah, and this is because Russia was and Soviet countries, Soviet Union was in the Second World War, Great Patriotic War, as it took a huge loss of 27 million people. So there's not one family that doesn't have somebody who died in the war. So this is like the battles were horrendous, and in the end Russia and Soviet Union won. So it's a mix of like memories and like a victory celebration. It's a little bit of both. So that's what it is essentially, and it's not political like the West says, for ordinary people. And I, as having Russian roots, I'm really proud of what happened. So.
And you were born in the Soviet Union, right?
Yes, so I cherish my culture and my history.
But then what country did you grow up in?
It was Soviet Latvia then. Yeah.
Okay, so what did this holiday mean for you as a young person as you were growing up and each holiday came by? Like what did you do and
I don't remember back in the Soviet times, but of course living in Finland this day is not celebrated. And actually, if to be quite honest, Finland was on the other side. And you can talk if technically they weren't allies of Hitler. So that's why that's how they like to differentiate themselves. But anyways, they were on the other side of the battle, so they're not celebrating it. And actually, there's lots of misunderstanding about the symbol, so people don't wear it because people might get even hostile. But how I've celebrated it, I've worn it for the past recent history years. I've started to wear it proudly.
In Finland?
In Finland, yeah.
You mean this?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's totally normal if you know the truth, and if you're like covered with bull BS about it, that's your problem. So yeah, and I've got, I've got, I don't do it for anybody else, but sure, I don't try to over exaggerate, but I just did it. And some Russian people who were, I guess they weren't brave enough to do it, they came to me, totally like people I don't know, came to me and shook my hand on it, like, what's, and then, like, and showed me the sign, like.
Wow.
Yeah,
Because I've heard you can be persecuted for wearing that in
yes,
Europe.
and it's in Baltic states, I think it's illegal. And
really?
My grandmother couldn't wear her medals that she received as so she couldn't wear it, or you could wear it under your coat, and that's but that's very politicized over there, and I don't have much.
Wow.
Yeah, it's,
So there are countries where you will be sure not to wear that personally.
Yeah,
you don't want to
yeah.
get in trouble. Okay.
especially if you're a citizen of that country, probably you're gonna get in deep trouble, which is really weird to me and sad.
And what is their reasoning? Like, if we were to try to understand what they're thinking.
Those countries, of course, were a lot of minority groups, or like I don't know, I don't know too much about it, but they were persecuted. People lost homes, but during the maybe Stalin era, people were sent to gulags, and they unfortunately they think about the Soviet times as what's the word, occupation times.
Okay, all right. So it is controversial for them.
Yes.
And so this will be Joe's first time saying, well, it's my first time too. I mean, I've been
How
here.
was it your first time?
I didn't come last year because I was concerned this topic might be too political for the algorithm,
okay.
to be dead honest with you.
This should be an amazing thing for everybody to celebrate in the world, with the Russians and the Americans and all the other allies celebrating on this today. I think it's actually kind of sad because, you know, so many of the Russians have already, you know, congratulated me on, you know, Victory Day as an American, and you know, they're talking, it's all of our holiday, and it's almost like they're so excited about it, they have this sense maybe that everybody in the world is celebrating it, and the Russians are really the only people who are remembering this right now.
Yeah, but I think Joe makes a very good point, because for me as an American, when I arrived here and I learned about this holiday, from my American perspective, I was like, wait, hold on, what do you mean? They have a huge holiday which is, in my eyes, World War II themed, you know, in costume with the military equipment, you know, celebrating the end of, you know, for me, World War II. For them, the what's it called? What's the name of what do they call it? The Great Patriotic War.
Yes.
Right? So it's the same thing, sort of. Like the Great Patriotic War is just the Russian front of World War II, right? You could say the important part, you know, the part that really made the biggest difference in World War II.
But sort of true, but also, if you want to be a little bit more objective, Russia had a lot of material support from Britain and America, so that helped a lot also.
No, I definitely want to be objective. Well, I mean, the American perspective for sure, like what you're tempted to think and raised with, you know, like emotionally, romantically, is that our smaller, older brother Britain was in danger, and we came and saved them, and then pushed on into Europe and helped end World War II.
And it's crazy how, for example, I've seen even Trump allegedly is more friendly with Russia, but for example, I remember that hurt my feelings when I heard that they had this commemorative medal of, like, for Victory Day, well, not Victory Day, for them in the West, and they had printed on the coin all the victorious countries, USA, Britain, and France. And no Soviet Union. Was like, this is rewriting history. France, that was it like 6 weeks, 3 months that it gave out. So victorious France. Well, in the end,
I mean, no offense to France.
Yeah,
I mean, where they're positioned on the globe, you know, I don't know what they could have done, but yeah, I understand that is hurtful.
I didn't mean to attack France. And,
sorry, French subscribers.
They did their part. They did their part later, but you know.
Well, I mean, because even in Moscow, in Victory Park, there's a statue with 4 soldiers, one from each country: America, Russia, Britain, and I think, gosh, what's the other one? Sorry, guys, it might be France. I think it is France.
It must be. It has to be.
Wow! Woo! We saw the jets. Red, white, and blue. Very cool, guys. Very cool. Yeah.
Oh, thank God. They're gonna be coming soon.
I'm glad, because I was thinking as you guys were talking, there's nobody here but us and police.
This is the best spot in the house.
And I thought, I was starting to think, either we're smarter than everybody or we're dumber than everybody.
Well, we're blaming IGOR for dumber than everybody.
Green colored vehicle.
The Russian.
Well, that is cool, actually. That's old style. That's pretty impressive right there. So they just went through Red Square and they're heading off now.
lovely. And no crowd because we are far away from the city. Just like I said, it's better.
Streets of Moscow. A lot of vehicles, a lot of vehicles. Woo! Look at how shiny the tires are. Like they really keep these vehicles looking nice. It's very, very impressive. You know, America doesn't do stuff like this, like big military parades that I'm aware of. So it's very interesting to see.
I know another Joe enjoyed it.
So if I'm not mistaken, these are antiques. These guys are antiques, which is why they're not rolling down the street. And there they go. Here with Igor in Russia, who's in Russia,
and who found
and Joe from home in Russia. Hey, hey. The military vehicles and tanks have left the center. I am running back to the center to see if Moscow has set up anything like festival type activities. And again, the main metro stop, you cannot exit without a ticket. So I'm walking through the tunnels underground looking for a way to come out. And if you're new to this channel, I'm an American. I live here with my Russian wife and 5 children, and we are doing this channel in English to tell the world 1946 that Russia is a normal place in order to, you know, try to help out with world peace if we can, even though I know that sounds kind of silly. These are pictures of people who served. Wow, actual footage. It's really sad to see and think about it. So there's the posters everywhere advertising the holiday. It looks like they have opened up the streets, and this is where the military vehicles started, where they were waiting to go. And yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is Tverskaya, and it's now wide open for tourists and for traffic. So I had to put on my hat, it's getting cold. That balcony right there is where Lenin used to give speeches. You can see a plaque for it right here. That little park area, they have a nice Easter setup. And if you look further down, you can see the corner of the Kremlin that we're approaching. You can see the red castle there. See the Kremlin Tower behind it, and all the flags for Victory Day. That is Gostuma behind me. They've got the it's basically Russian Parliament. My wife does some work there, and they've got the Victory Day flags on it as well. And again, there's the entrance to Red Square. It's still blocked off. This morning I was on the other side of the street. That's as far as I got, and it was blocked off. And now here's the Bolshoi Theater coming out from behind this metro. More wind. Ha!
It's gonna be impossible to get anything done here.
Boom! Nikolaevska Street.
Yeah, let's go.
That's one of their more impressive 9th of May displays that I usually see here. This is a nice medieval wall they have right here. And there's a little alley tunnel you can go through to get over to Nikolaevskaya Street. I think I said it right. which is the start of the city walk that comes off of Red Square. Now there is the walls of the Kremlin, and there are people here. Well, this is cool actually, to get to at least look inside. So you got St. Basil's right there. This is the old medieval podium, I guess you could call it. The clock tower. Temporary stadium seating where all the important people were sitting down. Wow, I like those banners on the castle.
Yeah.
That's very cool. What would you tell the West if you could make a statement about Victory Day? Because I don't think they really understand it anymore.
Do you want me to be, do you want me to censor what I want to say or uncensored?
I can cut out the parts that the algorithm won't like, but...
Oh no, the algorithm is going to be fine with what I say.
Oh, go for it then. Go for it.
All right. Fuck off.
Okay. All right. Now that you've let your emotions out.
Oh, that wasn't my emotions. I'm just being
for the people that are agnostic on this issue.
Yourself, mate.
For the people that are agnostic on this issue and they really would like to know, how should they understand what it is?
But in all seriousness, this is one of the most, if not the most important holiday for us. And when there are some Russians that say, well, we can repeat it, that doesn't mean that we want to. That means if we have to, we will do it. Not because, again, we want to, but because someone else has made us do it, like they did in the past, like in 1812, and like, you know, World War II as well. So it's the most important holiday for us. It marks the end of the Great Patriotic War, and pretty much every single family was somehow touched by this war, with their family members either fighting on some kind of front, maybe the Western Front or the Eastern Front with Japan. So every single family has a family member, father, grandmother, great-grandmother, mother, that had something to do with this war.
I'm very glad that on this actual day we got to look out at Red Square. Stan and I decided to run on over to Victory Park, and that is the Napoleon Arch behind us, I believe, with Victory Day decorations. Check out the tank video Stan and I just did here a couple of days ago.
6 days ago to be exact. Actually, no, 8 days ago when the weather was 25 degrees.
And we got a sunburn.
And we got sunburned, and now the only burning that's gonna happen is my face from the wind and the snow.
We're ending the day with souvenirs. I got a hat for my wife and children. Hopefully one of them wants it. And Stan got a Russian flag.
I got a flag because you know what happens is that every year when this day of celebration, day of victory rolls around, I'm always thinking, man, I should have gotten a flag that I can put on my car or the bike or just have in my office somewhere for a video. And when that day comes, I always remember it on that day, and I never buy it before that day. I'm never prepared for it.
I like how it has the Soviet symbol on it. So, what do you think of Russia now? Click like, subscribe, ring the bell notification, and click the box to see what happens next. We did it, man. We got to see the vehicles on Victory Day leaving Red Square.
Версты обгорелые в пыли, этот день мы приближали как могли, этот день победы.
Before that was a joke, kind of, you know, in every joke there's a little bit of a joke or a little bit of a truth. So I stand by my words.